Good day and welcome back to Takras Reviews. In this episode I have a treat for you. It's a good old game. It's called Chutes and Ladders, or in this case garden gnomes with ladders and lumber and ants, something else. Okay, it's not going to be this game, but not far from it, because Relic is the game I'm going to review today. It's almost Talisman, as it says here. Only this is a Warhammer 40k universe, so let's see what it's all about, and yeah, keep this in mind, okay?
Hello.
This game is actually quite a bit like Chutes and Ladders, actually. There is little choice in the game. You can choose to go right or left, that's about it. Other than that, you have to roll a die and follow it, and there are some cards that will help mitigate the die roll, but it's very minimal. So usually you just have to base your play on luck. But this is a game where it's possible to really end up in the gutter. I did it myself once, and it was very boring. I was playing, it's my turn, I was dying, and the other ones won't level up, and I was dying again, and dying, and so forth. And dying in this game is not as horrible as you think, unless you really die with corruption, but you lose the turns, you lose momentum, and there's nothing you can do about it except to hope for better rolls in the future. There are no choices, no wrong choices here, it just happens to be pure luck. The game comes with a lot of good characters and different variety, and they are highly detailed, and of course they're not painted in the game, so I chose to do it myself. Each character comes with a sheet that you place in here, like so, in one of these dials, and you adjust this to show your level. Each time you level up you gain some abilities, and this is your strength, your willpower, your cunning, and your life. Also, the sheets comes with special abilities that only your character can do, and they are very different from each character. On my turn, what I do is this, and roll the die. 1, so I can either go here, to the River of Fire, or here, to the Grey Knight Envoy. And I can look at the stats I have on the colors or the text and decide which way I want to go. I have no control of what event is going to happen here. I just have to hope for the best, so I go to the right. I have a low cunning, so fingers crossed. So let's say I end up here in the River of Fire. It's a 1 yellow symbol, so if there's 2 red symbols here, it's 2 cards, and here's 1 yellow, so we draw 1 yellow card from the deck, flip it over, and look, it's an enemy. It has a value of 6, so I have to fight it with my dice. So I roll 1 dice, and I roll a 5. So 5 plus 2 is 7, and already it's looking dim because it's 6 plus whatever I roll for him, 2, so 8. I lost the battle. And that's how easily you can die in this game. I lose a life, and next turn, next players. Most characters will have these power cards, and as you notice, there's a big number on the top. You can play this card as the die roll instead of the roll, before you roll. Or you can use the text under here, which also manipulates some of the rules. But that's kind of to the extent of what you can do with the dice. Sure, you can find items and weapons which help you boost the power of the die before you roll, but you have no idea if it's going to help or not. But first you have to get the items first, and then you have to use them and have the appropriate colors. Yeah, it's very, very luck based. To win in this game you have to be the first one to enter and defeat this enemy. Sometimes it's not an enemy, just to get there first. So to get there you need to complete missions, and to complete missions you have to defeat enemies all around the board. So you begin in the outer circle of the board, and you complete the missions, which look at this. And when you have defeated a number of missions you can trade them for relics, which is required to enter the innermost circle. But the first mission you get is random, so you might be lucky that you complete it like this, or it might say you have to go into the next circle to complete the mission. And in the beginning you can't do that because in the next circle there are more enemies that meet you at a time. So it's harder to defeat them. You need items and you need equipment and weapons to actually go in there. So you can, if you are lucky and have the exact number on the die and be at in the right corner of the board, get a new mission, but then maybe the next mission card also says something in the middle here, and you're screwed anyway. So it's very luck based, this game. So when you get into the middle here, you have to go through a lot of trials, and guess what? Trial 1, trial 2, trial, and so forth. Everything in this game is about rolling the die and hitting the right number. So despite this game being very random, I actually enjoy it. I enjoy playing it. Yeah, you have to have the exact number on the die when you're moving, but otherwise you have to have more than usually to complete enemies or missions or tasks or something. But of course, everything in this game is based on luck and the chance of drawing and chance of rolling. You have no control whatsoever in this game, and still it's enjoyable. But there is one problem with the game, one big problem. It takes a long time to play. Yeah, you can change the main scenario or the scenario in the middle here if you want to make it shorter, but it isn't. It's still long. The shorter scenario is still long. So this is a game you want to play with friends, just to tell a story and enjoy yourself while conversing with other themes than the game. And yeah, it's enjoyable. You actually you always become stronger with this character, and you advance, and you're building upon an existing character. There is one thing that I really dislike. Okay, when you die in this game, you are set back a bit. That's okay. But there are some cards called corruption cards, and if you get too many of those, you will actually be corrupted, and that will mean you have to start all over again. You lose everything, just a reset. And imagine the fun in that when everyone else is almost near the end and you have to reset. So the game has a lot of problems, but it's enjoyable to play. It is not a game you play to win. No way. There is no way you can control that. So play it for fun and not to win. So despite being a random game with random elements and luck-based everything, I do enjoy it, but I still cannot recommend it because it is random. It is not a game per se. It's a story rather, without a narrative. It's just something happening, and you go with that. So I cannot recommend it, but if you do happen to have a chance to play it, sure, why not? It's as long as you know what you're going to. It's going to take 2 or 3 or maybe 4 hours to play a session of this, depending on how many players you are. But it is a fun, fast game. For 2 players, it's actually quite fast. It's always alternating between turns. With 4 players, it drags really on. It's like you do your stuff and you wait 10 minutes and then it's your turn again and so forth. But yeah, it's exactly like Talisman with the luck element. It is a bit better than basic Talisman, but of course there are a lot of expansions for Talisman, and this one only has 1 yet. Sure, I cannot recommend it, but yeah, now you know my feelings about it. So I hope this has been helpful, and that you will get it or try it based upon this. Thanks for watching, and I hope I see you again in the next episode of Takras Reviews. See ya!